Oh man, RJ, that was another tough one.
Yeah, sure was. Some fun moments. Had a third period lead at one point, but yeah, just yet again another tough game, a tough Seattle sports day in general.
Yeah, I mean that's Michael's kicking us off with that in chat. Good God, what a depressing day for Seattle sports. A lot. End of an era. On one hand, what looked to be the start of another for the Kraken, re-signing McCann. That was the big news. Feels like forever ago now, early this morning, getting that out there. And then just that rough game tonight. Some bright spots for the Kraken. I mean, they were able to come back from another 2-goal deficit. That was really cool. They hung in there against a really good team. But special teams, RJ, we just cannot get away from that.
Yeah, for the third game in a row, special teams, you could really make a good case that decided the game, and particularly the penalty kill. Although even scoring a shorthanded goal, still a -1, on the day.
Yeah, I was gonna
Or
say
-2, -2.
yeah, I was gonna say that helps some, but yeah, it's almost like giving a team with Austin Matthews, John Tavares, Nylander, Mitch Marner, all those guys, a bunch of 6 power play attempts. Probably not a good idea. That being
No,
said, refs helped him out a little bit getting there.
yeah, there were definitely some softer calls. I mean, at least they went both ways a little bit, but yeah, definitely some cross checking was very strictly enforced tonight.
Yes, the one where I forget who it was, but they didn't even go down. It just like I'm not sure what was going on there,
Oh,
but
yeah, the
it is what
first
it is.
Geo one, yeah.
Yeah, the
But
first
look
show
who
one.
you have to console us.
I know Afra's here. Say hi, Afra. This way. There. There. Yeah, there you go. Good girl. All right, Brian, I'm here for it. Yes, and thanks for joining us, Brian, as well as everybody else who is with us for the live game commentary, all our patrons. And then we got Hunter, special teams, and 5-hole Gru strike again. Yes, the 5-hole was not kind to old Philip Grubauer tonight. That's for sure. The first one maybe a tiny bit forgivable because you're moving across and it's Austin Matthews, but still, that's what your stick is for. That second one though, that other power
No
play
excuse.
goal,
Yeah,
absolutely no
cannot get
excuse.
through you.
No, not at all. Do that. Show off the sweet new banner we also got there. Uh, Tyler, here we go with our almost nightly now. Ugh. Appreciate you keeping that going for us, Tyler. Though, Michael pointing out though, silver lining, the Yotes won tonight. RJ, they won
Yes,
big too.
they did 9-2 final, and yeah, they're 1 point back to the Kraken. So, onwards and upwards in the Shane Wright derby.
Yep, things are looking okay there. Hunter, could Jared McCann with that new contract play quarterback? Perhaps it's possible. You never know.
Yep. I mean, if you let's see, I had him I think as a wide receiver in my Kraken football team article that I put out on Super Bowl weekend. So check that out. If you want to see where I think they'd all slot in football wise. But yeah, they Seahawks need a quarterback, probably a better option than Drew Lock.
Yeah, but just put yeah. Tyler, the special teams was horrendous tonight. It really was. That being said, like the power play numbers a little skewed because they had a power play that lasted all of 2 seconds, but they didn't score in those 2 seconds. So that is something to take into account for the Kraken. But still, it was not a very good night for them at all.
No, it really wasn't.
And then reading ID pointing out something that we definitely were feeling. I could have done without the Matthews hat trick personally. We could have as well. They were really forcing it to him there when the net was empty for the Leafs, for the Kraken. They were really forcing it. We were happy when Gio stole that one opportunity away, we were hoping that would be made a a for real thing. She's back, so stick her on. But yeah, it would have been could have done without that.
For sure.
Michael, looks like both Kraken and Seahawks are going the hashtag pain for Shane tanking route. Yeah, I mean, Seahawks officially rebuild time. No other way to put it.
Yep. I mean, with Wilson and Wagner gone, end of an era. Time to look at quarterback prospects.
Yep, we'll see. Yeah, what the deal is with some other guys like Tyler Lockett. And then from Schultz, do you think that Geo trade might already be done, but waiting until after 1,000 game celebration to announce? The only reason I would say no to that, like definitively no to that, is because they don't want to risk him getting hurt.
Yeah,
we've seen
exactly.
even before games of sorry RJ, even before trades have been finalized, we've seen teams late scratch somebody or pull somebody from a lineup because they don't want them to get hurt before the trade is completed. So
yeah, asset protection very much a thing, and yeah, they would probably not do that.
Yeah, and I don't know that the 1,000 games was really that big a deal that he got that in Seattle. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like he's been there for years and years or anything.
Right, exactly. And you can always kind of reschedule the celebration, all of that. Trades, winning hockey games, that takes precedence.
Yeah. Yes, Afra, I'm better now. Thank you, Dylan. You're welcome, Brian. And then Greg, Grew was hideous tonight. I know goalies can have bounce back seasons, but man, it's depressing having to think of having him in net for years to come. I mean, I know that certainly based on his play this year, that idea is not a pleasant one. But I also feel like there have been times this year where he's looked really good and the team has just let him down. So it's just going to be one of those things.
You can see flashes of what you hope it will be.
Mm-hmm. I know.
But with that term, they're stuck with him.
Yep. And then let's see, Lindsay, what a great game. Best possible outcome for my two teams. Much needed Leafs win. A close and exciting game that the Kraken lose plus dominant Arizona win. Hello, Shane Wright. The sunglasses cool guy emoji.
Yeah, Lindsay probably having a good night.
I was going to say. Yeah, and it was the perfect outcome for you, Lindsay, for sure. Would have been disastrous the other way around for you. But yes, it was, I don't know. It was a close game. I really thought they had it. You jinxed it, technically. Everybody, you can blame RJ. Said, wow.
Trying to throw that back on me. The whole thing was Dylan jinxing it at the start of the game. We went back and forth just jinxing it, I guess.
We were jinxing it all over the place. It was quite an eventful night in the live game commentary. Gosh, I had bought into, like, I really felt like it could happen tonight. They were going to get a win in Toronto. That was going to be such a cool thing to have in the inaugural season that's, kind of lacked on some of those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Getting it done. Everything's bigger in that Toronto market. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to see the Leafs media freak out too.
I know. It's because we didn't leak our Mitch Marner rumor. Can't speak right now. I had it, everybody. We were going to try to, do the whole Toronto media thing and take advantage of it. We were going to throw Mitch Marner off his game by making up a rumor that he's deathly afraid of Kraken ever since he saw Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Man's Chest the summer it came out back when he was 9 years old. And that was going to keep him from playing well tonight. And I guess in some ways he didn't play that great tonight. Matthews did, but still.
Yeah, just need to come up with a Matthews.
Imagine if he didn't score and the Kraken won. That would have been picked up by a Toronto media place for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Trips, is it Matty Benier's time yet? Almost. We're getting close.
Yeah, April 9th to 12th. Yeah, April 9th. That's the date to look at.
Yep, so about a month now. Oh, it's going to be exciting. And Michael, Kraken are going to have a legit chance at last place in standings at Top Shot for right. Yeah, I mean, they already do. The fact that Montreal and Arizona both still have games on them, really not that far behind them. It's going to be close. And then Lindsay, odds of getting the first pick overall went from 10.9% to 12.1% thanks to the Arizona win, leapfrogging us in the standings. Let's go. Did they? Or are they still a point behind us?
Points percentage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Then there we go.
If you're looking at Tankathon, which I feel like Lindsay might be doing on her internet browser, that's what it will show
That's
you.
what it is. All right, let's go. And then Stratic, maybe the Sounders will win tonight. Yeah. All right. Night's not done for us. You hear that, Afra? It's not over till it's over, right? That's right. Do you have a
Come
you
on,
have?
Seattle sports.
I was gonna
Let's
say,
go.
were you looking at a score there, RJ?
I was trying to and realized
Okay.
I would not be able to get it fast enough at all.
That's fine. Brian, all right, 3 stars. First Blackwell, second Gord, third Wenberg. So that's from Brian. We've got to include Jeremy Lazon in there, right? He almost had a goal.
Mm-hmm. Yep, he had an assist there. He did some things. He got punched. He punched back
Uh-huh.
toward the end of the game there.
Um,
But yeah, certainly Blackwell and Gord and yeah, Wenberg actually quite impressive game. So certainly all three of those guys had good games.
yeah, I was gonna say I don't think there's anybody on the back end. Maybe Susie, um, but yeah, no, I think you've got a good legit 3 there, Brian. Tie, and here I just wanted to be excited about signing McCann. That's right, we got McCann. It's locked up. It's about as amazing of a contract as we could have ever dreamed of too. Buy up 4 years of 4 UFA years, only $5 million cap hit. I think both of us we projected it to be higher. I think this is a great thing. Get to keep him. He's obviously really happy here. You can tell that from the press conference this morning. How excited he was to go out and buy a house now and really be committed to here. He's excited about the opportunities that being a member of the Kraken have given him career wise. So it's awesome.
Yeah, and be excited about it. I mean, the loss tonight isn't going to change the fact that he's locked in for 5 years now at a really good number. I mean, this is the kind of deal that successful teams sign with their young stars essentially. So yeah, and just historic too. First guy to ever re-sign with the Kraken, and I think he's someone that we can all kind of be proud of and hang our hat on that he wanted to stay.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's a big deal. Bobby, we need a goaltender. Period. I mean, this season would be different. If we had league average goaltending, this season would be a lot different.
Yep, we'd still be talking about what are the playoff odds rather than what are the lottery odds.
Exactly. Michael, I like the progress from Winberg. Sorry, I just clicked down. From Winberg playing well lately. Yeah, ever since I started calling him out. Coincidence? Yep. I jinxed him in a good way. Let's go.
There you go. Yep, took your words to heart there, Dylan.
Yeah, was it 3 and 4 now for him? And it was something similar for Blackwell, or maybe even 4 and 5. So I'll take it. We talked about it, a little bit during the live game commentary. How much of it is him shooting more versus just being in good scoring opportunities? You and I kind of agree. It's more so he's putting himself in positions to score rather than taking more shots. That being said, we saw him pass up on some of those good scoring opportunities earlier in the year, and he's not now. So it's progress nonetheless.
For sure. Yeah, he's putting himself in good spots.
Yeah, and then Bobby, no confidence on all shots against having Toskal. Yes, Toskal. I was
for Raycroft.
Yes. For sure.
Oh man, Leafs. Yeah, there we go.
There you go, Bobby. Yes.
Vintage Leafs goalies there.
Oh man, totally forgot about them for a second. It's been a while.
Yeah, actually, my family has a Vesa Toskala stick like mounted in our, in one of the rooms in our house. Yeah. So remember him very well.
Yeah. And Greg, apologize if I missed this, but what do you guys think is the reason Donato isn't playing? I honestly don't understand. He's a better player than Appleton. One example. No, we talked about this last post game. Talked about it earlier during the live game commentary. I think it's just they don't want to upset the apple cart right now, especially that line of Gord, Blackwell, and Appleton.
Yeah, exactly. They just don't want to mess with it because that whole line is done really well.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'm with you, Greg. I think Donato has been fantastic for us all year. A really big bright spot. I would be playing him. I would find a way. I think Appleton. I think there's Wenberg's playing well again now, but even Geeky, I'd consider that rotational guys that you can put in and out. Jumping down to the super chat from Brian. As always, we appreciate it a bunch, Brian. I will not include lousy Zahn, Dylan. However, here's some cash for Gatorades and treats for Afra. I'm stoked we got number 16 for 5x5. Will be a steal. Groovy is ours for a while. What we need is honest coaching and improvement. Yeah, I mean, I think improvement when it comes to things like special teams and all that kind of stuff is going to be huge for them moving on into next year, and it is. I think it's already a steal, that contract.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's just a heck of a contract, like from the start. Yeah, and thank you again, Brian, for the super chat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, honest coaching and improvement. Yeah, you said it well. That's really what the Kraken need.
Yeah. Stratic Grew is better than before, but just not better enough. Agreed. And I still don't even think he's back to like, career average for him. Like he still doesn't look like the Grubauer that I've seen for the last, 6 years or so.
No, he doesn't. And career average for him also is really good. He's one of those guys that had exceptional career average numbers, just in a smaller sample size.
Yeah. Lindsay, big bummer with Russ and Bobby Wagner leaving today, but maybe if the Hawks suck next season as they rebuild and the Kraken have Beniers next year and are better, then we'll get some new hockey fans. It's the way it is in every city. I know all cities like to act like they're the one exception, but in every city, the team that's winning is the team that has the fans. That's just the way it is. And, and that could be the case next year.
Yeah, and as much as that, obviously sucks for the Seahawks, I think that could be a silver lining for the Kraken, if they can turn things around and be successful. The market is just ripe for them to step in, and if you can be a playoff team, how much the Seattle sports market is craving that right now, huge opportunity for them.
And the narrative of worst to first. You know what I mean? Like, that's a big one. Especially to do it in one off season, that would be huge. That would be a really big story that I think a lot of people could get behind. So it's all good there. And then Hunter, can we get a goalie podcast episode talking about why the Kraken goalies aren't performing like they were on their former teams? I would love to do that, Hunter. The problem is, like, we've speculated a lot, RJ, throughout the course of the year. I don't know that we have a definitive answer.
Right. I don't think we really do. Again, we've kind of provided potential explanations, and we're not goaltending experts either. Too, it's something that I almost feel like maybe try and find some kind of goalie coach or goalie expert to talk to, because that's just really not our specialty. And goaltending is just so kind of complex and weird. And you look at the numbers, it's also just so random looking. A lot of times I'll just dismiss and be like, look, goaltending is voodoo. Just, pay as little for it as you can and let the percentages ride themselves out. So while I would love to give you some good answers about that, I don't know that we'd be able to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I wish we had the answers, because then we could tell them. Hey, Gru, real quick. Joshua, very interesting, Lindsay, because only one Seattle team can be good at a time. It's true.
Unfortunate facts.
That's how it goes. I feel like the Sounders kind of get left out when people talk about that. Some though. Right, like they've been good.
Yeah,
the
Seahawks true. The Sounders have been good, for the whole time they've been in existence.
I was going to say, they're almost the exception just because they're always good.
And the Storm have been good too.
Yeah, but yes, it's going to be interesting. What wins out, Mariners or Kraken? It's going to be an interesting year. I mean, hey, Mariners might not even happen. The lockout situation over there.
Yeah.
Talk about really opening the door for the Kraken.
Yep.
All right.
We really do.
Brian, Mitch Marner got the game winner. Save the rumor for another day. I know. Would have been great though. Let's see. I was praying for a Steve Dangle meltdown today. Yeah, see, that was the other thing that we really wanted to get the win for, Tyler. Was that?
I know. Yep. I was looking forward to that. I will still watch the LFR, but it will not be nearly as fun.
Michael, how diplomatic RJ on Lausanne, quote, he did some things. Even hanging out with Ron Francis too much.
I guess so. Yeah. Got to ask him some questions once, and already I'm defending Lausanne.
Well, just with the diplomatic approach of, it's...
Yeah.
Lindsay, another bright spot to my week to push away the negativity. My boss had an extra ticket, so I get to go to the Sounders game on Saturday in a fancy suite. It's my first ever soccer game. That is awesome, Lindsay. The wins keep coming for you. It's really cool.
There you go. Well deserved.
Yeah. Let's see. And didn't you have your first skating lesson? How'd that go?
Yeah, she did. She said it went well. I was at the Iceplex for practice, so I like DM'd her, asked her how it went.
Cool. And then reading ID. What did everyone think of Allison tonight? Seemed to have her confidence back, and the Leafs even gifted her a TMM penalty in the second period. Yes. Unfortunately, we didn't get to hear it.
Right, because we were doing the live commentary. So, yeah, I mean, if you have thoughts on how Allison did,
yeah, let us know.
Put them in the chat.
Let's see. Ty, the McCann signing definitely boosted my outlook on the trade deadline. Hoping to see more work from Ron. Yeah, it's gonna be good. We talked about that.
Gonna work on those RFAs.
Mm-hmm. And then Scott, RJ volume issues.
Hopefully those are resolved if there were any.
Yeah,
I haven't seen anything else in chat, so hopefully that's fine.
Yeah, I've kept us both at the same levels from the live commentary, so should be all right. But yeah, as always, let us know. And then let's see. Absurdly sane. Lindsay, woo, have fun. I saw the Sounders way back in the day when they were minor league and played at Memorial Stadium. So that's cool. Nice. Get to say that. And then Hunter, be gone, bot. Yeah, I know.
I took care of it.
I know. Ty, let's see. Ty called out the bot. Yeah. And then JMG, what do you think the Kraken? Do you think the Kraken will bring back Dave Tippett? Said it before, say it again. I hope so.
Yeah, if Hackstall, does go and they're looking for another coach, I think he's got to be at the top of the list.
And yeah, he should help out with special teams. Like, come on. He'd certainly help out the penalty kill, and that I'm being serious about. And then obviously help out the power play by bringing back the umbrella. Let's go.
Oh man,
what a nightmare! Can you imagine if that was why the Kraken were bad on the power play this year? It was because they were trying to run the umbrella in 2022. Can you imagine the stories, RJ?
Oh yes, the
analysts on NHL Network talking about this team, just being like they deserve to be at the bottom.
Yep, and I couldn't argue with it.
No. All right. Well, this is good to hear, Lindsay. From Lindsay, Allison was back to form tonight. Nobody loves too many men penalties more than her. Lucan has been released. All right.
Yep.
That's good to hear. Good. Stratic, is worst to middle ground good enough? I think that's the best we can hope for next year. Hey, in the NHL, you can always try for the playoffs because so many teams make it for one. I mean, they just finally got it with the Kraken. Only half the teams make the playoffs.
Yep.
And
but if you're smack dab in the middle of the league, you're making the playoffs.
Exactly.
So yes, it is good enough.
Yeah.
Really, anything besides what we saw this season, where you're out of the race by November, is fine.
Exactly.
It's just the one thing you can't do.
Yeah. I want it to happen next year, RJ, so bad.
Yep, me too.
Ty, so here I'm going. I'm going here, but I heard mascot mid to late March now.
Back, in the like January, February days where we were all thinking mascot right away, mascot now. What I was hearing was mid to late March at that point, and I haven't heard anything updating that since. So, but I can't in all good conscience tell you guys to get your hopes up. So just let it come when or if it does.
What a better night to do it, though, than March 16th, hosting the reigning back-to-back Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning, though.
And you got the Geo ceremony. Mm-hmm. Have the mascot present him with the stick.
Yes.
1,000 games.
Oh, that would be cool. Brian, no, Ty, just no. Lindsay, my second learn to skate class went really well. I sort of kind of did a half hockey stop, but more importantly, I made 2 new friends. They told me they signed up for LTS after watching their first Kraken game. Awesome. Glad that it's working, right? Having the Kraken around, it's getting people to go learn to skate. That's awesome. Happy for you.
That's what it's all about. Yep.
And yeah, don't worry about the hockey stops. I took forever to learn a hockey stop. It was fine. I got along playing just fine without it.
Yep.
That's what other players are for. Just slam into them, you stop, they go down. It's win-win.
Yeah, you'd be amazed how much you can get by playing the game without having to stop.
Let's see. Joshua, Yotsub scored 17 goals in the last 2 games. What is going on in the world right now? I don't know, because it's not being driven by Phil Kessel, so I have no explanation for this.
No clue. I couldn't tell you what's going on.
I was gonna say, is it Clayton Keller? Is he getting it done? Is it
Nick Schmaltz?
It's Nick Schmaltz. I mean, it's everybody trying to play their way out of there. That's what's going on.
Like, all right, if we score enough, we'll get traded.
They heard it's coming up. Yep, they heard it's deadline season, so they're turning it on. They're just trying to get out of there. Stratic is the mascot of Ballast Tank. That would be that if they could pull that one off, that'd be really interesting.
Yeah, props to the creative team there if they could pull that one off.
It's so great to this is from Lindsay. It's so great to see the Kraken growing the game in the community and getting new people interested in learning to skate and eventually learning to play hockey. 1,000% agree. I saw the impact in I mean, you and I both saw it, RJ, in 2007 when the Ducks first won, and then especially when the Kings won. You know, just what that did for whether it was ice or roller down here. Just the interest that it, you know, brought to the sport was amazing, and how many kids started playing. It was really, really cool.
Yep. So glad to see it here.
Yes. All right. Let's see. Where were we now? The Rock Tide, the back check call on Gru was a joke. Yeah, that one was that on Gru? No, that was the was it Lauzon? The like love tap one, right? Is that the one?
Oh yeah, maybe that's talking to. Yeah, I don't know.
Because I don't remember. I mean, I could look at the penalty summary real quick here. I have the game up. Although earlier it was saying both teams were 0 for 0 on the power play, so was it totally working? Yeah, I think meant the Lauzon one on. Oh no, that was the roughing. Oh, it was Susie. That's it.
Oh yeah.
On Conf, yeah.
Yeah.
That was it. Yeah, it was a joke. There was a couple back check calls that were cross checking calls that were a joke.
Yeah. There was just a lot of soft ones tonight.
Schultz, for those of us new to the NHL, what's the general setup of the NHL, AHL? How many prospects can play? Just curious if the Kraken are looking to fill an AHL roster as well as strengthen their roster. I believe it's the same roster size, right? It's like 23.
Yeah, same roster size, 23. And of course, right now, the Kraken are sharing an AHL team with the Florida Panthers in Charlotte. But they're going to be getting their own AHL team, as I see by the comment. So yes, a big part of their offseason task will be to fill an AHL roster as well. Ron Francis talked with us about that a little bit during his most recent media availability. And he said, free agent wise, that's another thing they're going to be looking for. You're going to see a lot of signings for guys who, maybe are veterans that can be good leaders of the guys in the AHL, or maybe even kind of fill in spot duty at the NHL level too. They do have an entire roster to fill basically for Palm Springs. They'll have some prospects that'll go in there, like maybe a Riker Evans and such, but you're gonna have a lot of veteran players you're gonna need to sign to AHL deals.
Yeah, Evans is going straight to the show, man.
I would believe it.
I think he should. It'll be interesting to see, especially if they move more than just Gio at on the blue line. But good question there. I like that question. Blackhawks going to win too. # I see Shane. Yeah, I mean they're crushing the Ducks right now. Blackhawks don't know what's going on tonight. Where was this when we needed it? Why all the other low in the standings team winning big? Rocktog, how Leafs staggered 2 guys in front during our power play. I mean, well, there was a couple times where they had like weird groupings of players in weird spots, like that one where they had 3 Leafs all in front of Jack Campbell, and they were literally all stumbling over themselves, and then they tripped Campbell as he had to go cross crease. Oh
yeah,
it was kind of a joke. I mean, we can talk strategy. I know we talked about it a lot during the live game commentary, but we haven't so much on the post game. big part of what the Kraken were doing successfully tonight was entering the zone with speed, putting a lot of pressure using speed on the Leafs, because the Leafs defense has no idea how to handle that. Makes them look very confused, and they get all over the place, and they don't understand where their coverage responsibilities are. And every time that the Kraken really tried to up their speed game and be aggressive in that way, it worked out for them. And yes, it opened up some opportunities for the Leafs going back the other way, and they kind of, they have more skilled guys realistically, so that kind of hurt. But the Kraken, man, being aggressive, I liked it. Those games that they were doing it, they did it, against the Flames. I liked it. I wanted them to do it kind of through there to try to kill off that losing streak. But bringing it back out tonight, and again, looked pretty decent.
Yeah, it sure did. And the Leafs just kind of had no answer for it.
Yeah. Other than, getting a bunch of penalties called on the Kraken.
Yeah, that's an answer.
That's another one. My only bright spot of the day is seeing a Blackhawks win. Wow. Don't get that in here very often.
No, we don't.
All right, and then here we go from Burnt. Allison should be full-time analyst. She's great. I hope she has a long-term deal. Otherwise, she'd get poached. It's certainly possible. I don't know what the stipulations of the contract there is and all that kind of stuff.
And it's hard to say. Like, Allison is one of those people who can do anything she wants in the hockey world. Like, she can go wherever she wants to go. So hopefully she wants to stick around and bless us with her commentary. But I could see her in a front office role with the team. One day.
I could too. In an analytics department or something, for sure. I still don't know how she does that. She'll just pull out any stat from anywhere, anytime. Like, it's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Absurdly saying, I thought Allison was back on form tonight. Cool. Also, my new theory on Lazan Fleury is that Fleury had an affair with Axtall's wife.
What a theory.
That is quite a theory. Yeah.
I mean, Fleury's a handsome young man, but
yeah, I don't know
about that one.
I was going to say, it's probably best if we don't comment on anything, RJ.
Yeah.
Harley B, hey, all, my first NHL game and had to be there live cheering on our Kraken. And oh my, those Leafs fans are loud. Yep, I was one for 44 years, lol. But hey, this Kraken gal is just as loud. Awesome. Glad you got to be there for your first NHL game. Glad you got to see the Kraken. Glad you got to go and, see them against the Leafs too. Like, get both teams in there. That's really cool.
That is awesome. We've got some really good, ECH representation live at these games on this road trip.
Exactly. And then Tyler, do you think Ron the Builder could get a player with term at the deadline that helps build towards the future, or would you rather get strictly prospects and picks? Realistically, just prospects and picks. Part of the problem is, like, they already have a ton of players for, you know what I mean? Realistically, roster-wise.
They still have rights to, So I think it's a lot more likely prospects and picks. I think, if there's something that makes sense, obviously, then you look at it. But I think prospects and picks are the way they're going to go.
Yeah. Stratic thanking Harley for representing an enemy territory and go Kraken. It was almost a classic. It was. And then Sounders up 2-0. So that is something positive. Thanks for that, Stratic. And then Hunter, trade deadline is less than 2 weeks away. How soon till we make our first move? Any day now, I would think.
Yeah, any day now.
Maybe, I don't know. Do you think they try to really do something during the 3 days that they're going to have off after Saturday's game?
That's what I was thinking. I think that's probably the first window. And my guess, I'm going to put this on the calendar, March 15th. Because I'm going to have to miss practice because I'm taking my car in for maintenance, and I know that all the trades are going to go down as I'm just sitting there waiting for my car to be done.
There we go. Heard it here first. We'll check, make sure to be on Twitter on March 15th, everybody.
Yep.
Stratic, just want to say this Kraken team needs picks and prospects so bad. Not enough that happened at the draft, and the Kraken need depth and competition in their prospect pool to pay off in 3 to 4 years. Yeah, I mean, starting from nothing. Right, we've talked about that several times already. They were building this team from literally nothing. I do think that is something to keep in mind. This team has literally only existed for 59 games. They had one player on their roster before the expansion draft in Hedman. Like, that was it.
Yep.
Like, that was the only one. And really, if you look back this time last year, they didn't have any players on their roster. They just didn't exist. So, it's it is not easy to just spring into existence and try to be a force to be reckoned with right away.
Yeah, and even acknowledging the failure to acquire extra assets at the expansion draft, even if you did like a great job of that and you had like 10, 11 draft picks, this first year to bring in prospects, most teams have 30 in the system because they've got multiple years going off. So there's only so much you can do so far. But yes, that's why it's very important to get picks and prospects right now.
Right. And then you can also get into the complications about like the 50 contracts and all that kind of stuff. Gets all very, whatever. And let's see. Harley B, revisiting the game in my mind. So surreal watching the game live. Same thoughts. The Kraken someone at the nets to catch rebounds and for goal chances. I was yelling, who's in front? It happened. Well, let's see. We got the Schwartz tip. That was one.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like there was one other time where it happened, but really there wasn't a lot of it again tonight.
Feels like we've said this so many times this season. The few times they do, insert X thing you're supposed to do, it works out for them and they get rewarded. Mm-hmm. They just don't do it often enough or consistently enough.
Yeah, and that's ultimately the biggest head scratcher of the season, I think.
Yeah.
Like, looking back at it and everything, certainly for us doing the post-game lives, like thinking, kind of cataloging what we talk about the most, that's certainly very, very high up on the list. Stratic, they also lost players for nothing on waivers, just need a tighter operation vis-a-vis asset management. Yeah, it's possible. Some of that is to be expected given the way things happen. And look, I know the deals maybe not, weren't there for Ron Francis. I do think that a lot of GMs learned their lesson from the Vegas situation, not just about like, okay, we obviously saw teams this go around that were willing just to lose one player rather than try to, give up a ton of assets for it. But I think teams learned that, hey, yeah, no, they're going to have to take, 30 players. That's already way more than an NHL roster. Then they're going to be trying to bring in free agents and all that kind of stuff. I think it was just one of those situations where there was just too many NHL players for one roster coming out of the expansion draft. No matter how you sliced it, that was just going to be the situation. You were going to have to lose some of those guys on waivers, especially if you were going to be active at all in free agency. So it's kind of a weird situation to put an expansion team in the sense that it's like, all right, well, we'll give you a high draft pick in this year's entry draft. You can kind of utilize your expansion draft status to make deals if you can, but at the same time, we're going to make you get a bunch of NHL talent and then in a couple of weeks have to lose 7 or 8 players from that. You're just going to have to let them walk. Like, it's really weird.
It is, and it was certainly a weird process. I remember going, through training camp, kind of going through it and seeing, who was on the chopping block. And so, yeah, it's just something that comes with the expansion process, I think. Something that, even Vegas went through too. We don't remember it as much because like a lot of the guys that were claimed there didn't go on to do a whole lot. And I'd argue that's probably the case in Seattle as well. There's no one I'm too really hung up on them losing to waivers. Mm-hmm. There are real asset management problems for sure, from the expansion draft on, but I wouldn't say waivers is one of them.
Yeah. Rock Todd, did we win a face-off? Was it Shahan I was calling out for winning face-offs tonight?
Shahan did great.
He did
a
lot.
The team overall was, I think, 45%. It was 45 to 55 leaves.
That's been about even for them. It's been on par for them lately, slightly below the 50% mark. Lindsay, when do you think we'll get our free boys Fleury and Borgen back again? Any chance it'll be before Gio gets traded, or will Hack stick with these D pairs until after the trade deadline? Given the amount of consistency we've seen D pair wise and lineup wise, I think it won't be until after Gio's traded.
Agreed. I think it'll take a trade or an injury. We'll see how Soucy's doing. I know he got banged up a little bit this game.
Yeah, but he finished, so that's important.
Yeah.
Didn't happen last time. Striatic, Harley B, the patented Kraken net side presence is not cutting it. Nope. Did it pay off? It paid off for what? 1 goal tonight, right? That was it.
Yep.
Still, I mean, it's at least starting to pay off occasionally. That's something. Mm-hmm. Absurdly saying, if when Gio is traded, who's our new captain? It'll be up to the locker room to decide if they want one.
There is one. Yeah, although I got to agree with Lindsay on the next comment. I do think we'll go without a captain for a while. And there really is no rush to name a new one.
Yeah, and I agree with that too. And then looking forward, do you have you think someone next year gets it?
I think so.
I think so,
They
given
certainly
how.
weren't hesitant. Yeah, started this season
Right,
when they
exactly.
had no real pressure to do it.
Yeah. I was going to say the fact that they really seem to want to do it this year means that they'll do it. So keep an eye on really any of the guys that have an A on their chest right now.
Yep. Yeah,
Yanni.
those would be the primary candidates. Yeah, Yanni.
Yanni would
I'd
be a
love to
good
see
one.
that.
That'd be a good one. Let's see. Scott, nice extension for McCann. Yarncroke gone soon. Second worst goals against in the league. Stay-at-home D-men would be helpful. In theory, they have plenty of stay-at-home D-men. They just don't play like it.
Exactly. They have plenty of them. They just, it's the mistakes. That's what it is. And goaltending also factors into that, that goals against number.
Yeah.
Yarncroke probably gone soon. I would imagine he'd get traded at the deadline. And you're probably, no, he's sticking around. He's sticking around. Get the shirt. And they're going to be limited edition.
Yes. You'll want to remember. Oh.
Man.
Yes, Lindsay, beware the eyes of March. It's true. Let's see where Brian. Being both a Kraken and Canes fan, I've let my mind wonder how many Kraken would make the Canes team. I honestly believe 5 or 6. We're simply starting. We're building. Will take time. Yeah, there's some good guys. Again, some of it, like talking about the defensemen and how they've been playing. I don't know how much of that is just situational given everything that happened in Seattle, in the offseason and everything, and coaching wise, and just the stuff that is, happened. Like there is some force at work here almost, the way that both goaltenders have been bad after being considered, one of, if not the best goaltending tandem before the season started. You know what I mean? And all of these defensemen that had great, analytics numbers going into this season and then somehow forgot how to play defense. You know what I mean? Like there is almost like some extra force working on it.
Yeah, that you feel might go away if they were on the Canes suddenly.
Yeah. And hopefully goes away over the course of a regular full off season.
Yep.
Ty, 23 games left to go. Where do we break 20 wins? Maybe 25? Crazy to think we have come this far. Bunch of suckers who long for abuse. Love y'all.
Let's see. We got 17 wins. It's got to break 20. Have to break 3 wins over 23 games. Yeah, I think 25. I think, let's see, 8 wins over 23 games. That's pushing it. Somewhere between 20 and 25.
Yeah, I was going to say it's really pushing it as of late because I feel like they're playing some of the best hockey they've played all season, but they still just, lose every game, it seems like.
Yep.
So,
thanks to you, Tank Commander Ty.
Yes, doing your part there. That being said, I'd probably put the over-under 25.5. They're due to have a little bit of a win streak.
Okay.
So
yeah. If they can get a 3-game win streak for the first time ever.
We could probably research that right now, see what the Vegas line is for their win total for this year.
Yeah.
It would be interesting. Brian, love you too, Ty. Love you all as well. Hockey Mom, maybe McCann is captain. I did think about that, but is he an assistant captain?
I don't think he is. No. And he's definitely, on the younger side, and certainly given that they chose Giordano, this season, I think that locker room probably, maybe more values a little more veteran leadership. So I think it's probably more likely one of the, older guys, one of the guys with an A. I know Eberle's really well respected. If you just talk to the players individually,
I was gonna say
he might be my favorite.
Or Schwartz.
Yep.
Harley, sorry, bounced around on the Gardner Express leaving Toronto. My grammar is much to be desired. Don't worry about it. So cool to have ECH chat and great participants. Someone else said thanks for representing our Kraken. Nice. Yeah, don't worry about it, Harley. Glad you had a great game and a great time. That's what matters. Ty, I've decided for the playoffs, I'm jumping back into my childhood team. It's either that or stay neutral. Regardless, I'm crazy excited to watch playoff hockey. It's a whole different level. Go Avs, huh?
Yeah, go Avs.
I was going to say, are you the reason the Avs haven't been able to quite get it done the last couple of playoff runs? Is that what's going on?
No, that's it. Ty is not Jared Bednar.
Good call. Reading ID. Harley, thanks for the live reporting from the center of the hockey universe, as John Forsland kept saying. Okay, hey, I made a joke about that too. Was that during this or during the live game commentary? I said
That was during the commentary.
Okay, and I called it the self-proclaimed center of the hockey universe.
There you go.
I'm in good company? Question mark? With Forsland there. And then Ty. So last game is versus the Sharks on a Friday. We should plan something. Gosh, what a last game, RJ.
Yep, that'll be a fun one. Fan appreciation night against the Sharks. Or is it? I think it's in Seattle.
Let's see.
Double check here.
Yeah, 29th.
Yeah, it's in Seattle, 29th against the Sharks. Yeah, that would be cool to plan something, or after, like, I don't know, or after the game. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll have to find my way up there for that.
Oh yeah,
that'd be good.
Mascot reveal on that day.
Yes, there we go. Brian, should always leave an open mind, although analytics has its place. Is analytics all-knowing? Of course not. If it were, explain getting Grubauer and Drieger and dishing back Vanacek. Yeah.
Yeah, and goaltending is a whole nother level of that too. You can try to explain it, but good luck.
Yeah. And then Ty, I never had this tanking gift before. Lol, it's weird, but hey, what can I do?
You got the gift, just got to embrace it.
I was gonna say you got to embrace it and figure out how to use those powers for good.
Mm-hmm.
If it's Shane Wright, that's good, but figure out some way of giving that to someone else next year.
Yep.
We'll need a lost season live therapy session after that game for sure. It's from Reading ID. Yeah, it'll be postseason live, LMAO.
Yeah, lost season.
Oh, well, it's kind of a lost season though.
No, I was about to go argue with that. I was gonna say it's not a lost season, Yeah, on the ice maybe, but first season of the franchise, getting this community together, lots of great memories, and it's a human thing also to to really bump up the nostalgia when you're if you've gone through bad times together. You hear anyone yes. talking about going through some predicament later, it was a good time. We were all hanging in together.
Yeah, no, it's been good. Yeah, no, it's gonna be a big party. Whatever ends up happening for that, it's gonna be big, and obviously everybody will be invited, wherever it may be, whether it's on here or in person or whatever. Ty, so maybe I'm not invited to the last game. Yeah. Yes, everybody but Ty. I can watch from afar, from a nice, safe tanking distance. And then Brian, lots of Afro check-in sessions. Yes, it's been a good year, huh? Yeah, she's in her bed under my desk, looking very confused. I'm talking to her. Yeah, here we go. The first season is far from lost. I'm just glad to have NHL hockey down the street. That is nice. I think that's a big reason why. That's the reason why everybody's still here. You know what I mean? It's because it's better than not having NHL hockey, that's for sure. But also wanting it for so long. As Lindsay pointed out earlier, right? It's gotten the community interested in it. People are trying out the game, learning how to skate, all that great stuff. It has definitely been mission accomplished.
Yeah, and that's that's something you can't take away with losses to the Leafs or whatever. That's here to stay.
Mm-hmm. Losses to the Leafs, the end all be all. We beat Toronto in Toronto. We're not a team until that happens. Ty, I need a Sharks jersey. That'll fix it. RJ, you got a spare you can send his way?
Yeah, I've got plenty. Not sure I want to do that, but I've got plenty.
Yeah. Oh, it's a good one. All right. Lindsay's signing off. Night all. See you on Thursday. Yeah. A lot of people have been trickling out here. I think we could probably call it an early night, given you and I did the live game commentary for so long, too.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. It's why we're here, Dylan. You're exactly right. Yeah, it's awesome. We all get Seattle hockey for the first time. NHL level, highest level hockey for the first time in over 100 years, basically. That's crazy. It's huge. Scott, I heard the workaround for the mascot problem is just to run with Kyle, the dead Kraken guzzling pirate parrot. Makes as much sense as anything else with this team.
Why not?
Why not? Exactly. Just go for it. It's worth a chance. Good stuff. But we're gonna call it. I mean, RJ and I have been doing this now for 4 hours, right? It's been.
Yep, hour 4.
There we go.
Cowbell.
Yes, exactly. Thanks everybody for joining us for the post game live here. Thanks to the patrons who joined us for the live game commentary. As always, had a great time. It was not to be lost in anything, but again, it was a good game for the Kraken tonight. They came back from a multi-goal deficit. They had another response goal, keep that streak going. Good, and of course, the best news of the day for the Kraken, Jared McCann extension. Can't lose sight of that at all. So
absolutely.
It's a good one. Everybody go listen to the endless Seahawks takes that will be flooding all your sports media feeds. And we'll catch you all on Thursday after that game in Ottawa. All right.
Yep.
See ya.